Okay, and now I want to talk to you about applications. Applications is the name of the game. Basically, that's what makes our industry tick. I have limited time and I want to show you as much as possible. So let's go. Okay, first thing I want to show you here is a banner. Basically, this is an indoor banner, blockout material, printed on the Colorado 1630 in a beautiful gloss finish. High color gamma, poppy colors, ideal for visual communication. Right, that's it. Now let's go to the next one. Here, same application, but then for the outside. This is outdoor banner, different material, and this one is actually printed double-sided. And it's finished as a pole banner, as you can see up there. Our inks, easy to be stitched through. You can easily weld them, no problem with that. Different type of banner. Here, this is a pop-up banner for pop-up advertising, printed on a polyethylene film. This one has a matte finish to it. And indeed, you see here the cassette, typical way of finishing. Okay, now I find myself on a floor graphic. Everybody knows this application and everybody does this with UV gel because you don't need to laminate. Basically, our ink is very robust. I could do a song and dance here, but for everybody's sake, I'm gonna skip that. UV gel, very robust, no lamination. Okay, let's go to the shelf. Typical retail application. What do you see here? Labels. This is actually a new way of doing labels on a self-adhesive paper. It's eco in two ways. It's eco-friendly as a paper-based application, and this is where the market is going to, and it's also very economical. Another way of doing labels is on a metallic film, very special effect. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Hot stuff. Okay, what do we have wobbling here? It's literally a shelf wobbler, printed on a plastic, fairly rigid type of rolled plastic. Typical supermarket application. Also, we're talking about new applications here. Packaging. Packaging is hot. Everybody's ordering stuff from the internet and getting it delivered into a box. A couple of ways to decorate a box. A label, of course. Self-adhesive paper that you put as a label onto it. But we'll also have here, this is like a really professional looking box, and this is printed on a Colorado. And how is it finished? Actually through litho-lamination. So the professional way of doing packaging. And our Colorado inks, 1630 inks, perfect, no cracking, conformable. Short-term application, remember that, short-term application, packaging, remember that. Okay, then we go to here. What do we have on the back of this chair? Decals. Everybody knows that. You can print on monomeric, polymeric, decals. Everybody knows that application. Okay, little restaurant scene, and I see a menu printed on a synthetic paper. Very robust, waterproof. Can't scratch it. And oh, this is something interesting. This is actually printed on Tyvek, special type of soft Tyvek. And all of a sudden, then we have a crumpled map. Yes, indeed, we can crumple it. And the ink doesn't come off. It's waterproof. This lasts for ages. Only possible with UV gel. It's unique that way. Okay, let's have a look at the tablecloth. This is a soft paper, soft wrap paper they call it, and it's actually very cheap commodity paper, and all of a sudden when you print on it, it becomes a high margin application. Unique, you can really upgrade the commodity material that way. You can make lots of money with personalizing your tablecloth. Okay, what do we have in the background? Wall decor, very popular application, went through the roof last year, and the growth is foreseen to continue exploding. Everybody wants to decorate their bar, their restaurant, their hotel room, but also for personal spaces, interior. A couple of properties are very important. Okay, the colors need to stand out. The alignment of all the panels needs to match perfectly, and you're very welcome when you can actually see a hamburger, you can see a ketchup bottle, and then you can just spray it on there. And before you're thinking, oh no, he ruined the application, he ruined the decor. No, that's the power of UV gel and the Colorado 1630. Our ink is actually very scratchable, washable. You can take it off, you can sponge it off, you can scrub it with a brush. It stays intact. What do we have here? An overhead sign. This is how the industry got started, basically with signage. This is still how the signs are done. You print on a rolled material and then you glue it onto a sign. This one is cardboard, typical for a supermarket, an overhead sign, but also to be used outdoor on Foamex or Forex material. Let's go over here. We have backlights, and I actually want to show you two ways of doing backlights. This is the more traditional way. This is printing on a film, and then there's light behind it. Traditional way. On the bottom here, we have actually a more modern way. This is actually not printed on a film, but printed on a textile. It's a very specific type of textile. It's a Samba, what they call soft signage or silicon edge graphics. So it's just very stretchable textile. Our ink is also very stretchable textile. We stretch it around the frame. And what's good about UV gel, the 1630 inks, is actually the high contrast. So we have very high color. And also, where you do not want to have color, where you want the absence of light, our ink is actually blocking the light very much. Unique. Okay, then we go over here to this wall, or at least a fake wall. This is a very conformable foil that you can actually heat, and that you can actually push it into these seams. And then you can actually push it into a brick wall. These are quite modern application. Now I'm going to show you an old-fashioned one, usually still done with analog equipment. It's blueback paper. These are the traditional billboards. I've actually soaked it in water and glue, and then with a little help, don't watch the alignment, you can actually stick it on there. Still very high volumes of this application being printed. This is blueback paper. And when we talk about paper, we talk about posters. And with the Colorado 1630 and UV gel, there's lots of possibilities. Posters are a commodity, but with UV gel, they come out great. You can print uncoated paper, machine-coated paper, and the colors pop out. They don't look washed out. Very good. When we talk about colors and getting more arty effect, okay, we talk about canvas. Everybody knows canvas. You see they're stretched on a flame. What's important? Colors pop out. You can stretch the ink around the frame, it doesn't crack. Very robust, you don't have to handle it with these gallery white textile gloves. I'll leave it for there just a moment. Okay, let's go to here and we come across my skateboard. Why do I show you my skateboard? Basically to explain vehicle graphics. I could not drive a bus in here in the indoor application, but basically this is what vehicle graphics is about. Our customers are doing that because the ink is very conformable, lends itself well to it. Okay, so we can cover fleets of trains, metros, buses, and they all have windows, so we need to think about windows as well. How do we decorate transparencies? Well, this is one example. It's a transparent film printed with UV gel, but there are lots of ways of doing that. You can also print on micro-perforated, perfectly possible, or also even window film, cling film. Okay, and what do we have here? Cheap wrapping paper. This is brown craft paper. Basically, this is almost the cheapest paper you can buy, but if you personalize it, all of a sudden you have a high margin application. Cheapest paper in the world almost, if you personalize it, and print it on high speed with the Colorado 1630, all of a sudden you have a very profitable business. I'm running out of breath. So this is the personalized paper, and you can actually finish it off with a label. Okay, we were talking about floor graphics, we were talking about printing on transparent material, and actually if you combine the two, we have a new application, and the customer taught us this. This is what he called floor tattoo. Our ink is so robust that you don't need to over laminate it, so you can actually print on the laminate itself. The laminate is transparent, stick it on the floor, on the concrete in this case, and all of a sudden you have a new application, floor tattoo. I'm running out of breath, and there's one last thing I want to show you. Printing actually on magnet. So this is magnetic film, and we finished it in two ways, high gloss, high pop, and this is the matte, smooth matte version. It's the same material, we just did it with flex finish. So this is magnetic material, and basically you can stick it in anything ferrous or metal. You can make your own fridge magnet out of it. So that was a lot of application in a very limited time frame. I'm running out of breath. I feel like I deserve the prize, and I got a prize. And what's this? It's another Colorado application. Basically, here a t-shirt. We didn't print on the t-shirt itself. We printed on the transfer paper, and that we then transferred onto the t-shirt. Stretchable, our ink, and also very washable. So that was it. I'm running out of breath. A lot of application. If I had half an hour, I could show you 100 more, but don't hear it from me. Hear it from our customers. So that's what I suggest we do. We go now to our customers and let them do the talking, and let's take a look inside their shop.